Okay, so you've got all three connections in place: your legal contract agent, your risk foundry agent, and your finance fabric agent. Structurally, your vendor management agent is completely built. But now the real work begins. We have to shift our mindset from just building this thing to actually validating it, making absolutely sure every single generative routing decision lands exactly where it needs to across your architecture.
To get there, we're going to walk through 5 crucial operational stages today: multi-agent routing validation, tuning agent descriptions, explicit orchestrator instructions, suspend versus disconnect, and finally, cross-agent transcript monitoring. Let's dive right into phase 1. Section 1, multi-agent routing validation.
When we talk about validating multi-agent routing, we're really just confirming that our orchestrator is successfully handing off user intent to the right specialized agent. The test canvas is going to be your absolute best friend here, architecturally speaking. By sending highly targeted prompts, say, does this vendor's contract include a data processing addendum, you should see it predictably hit that legal agent every single time. If you ask about recent security incidents, boom, that should hit the risk foundry agent. You're literally proving to yourself that the generative AI truly understands the operational scope you've mapped out.
Now, while you're doing this testing, the activity map is operationally massive. It's a total game changer because it doesn't just tell you, hey, a response came back. It gives you complete, transparent visibility into the orchestrator's actual decision-making process. You are seeing the exact generative logic, the real why and the how behind why it chose one connected agent over another. But here's the catch. Before you just start firing off those easy, clear-cut prompts, I want you to stop and ask yourself, what are your boundary cases? What are those gray area queries that could plausibly match more than one connected agent based on how you described them? Testing these boundary cases first is absolutely crucial. Why? Because they almost always reveal routing gaps that those simple, clear-cut prompts will just completely miss. And that leads us straight to an absolute unshakable architectural golden rule. Write this down. If your activity map shows a prompt routed to the wrong agent, you have a description problem, not a connection problem. It's so tempting to start checking APIs, right? But the fix here is entirely about refining your semantic descriptions. You don't need to touch your API connections or your authentication setup. Which brings us right to section 2, tuning agent descriptions. Okay, so generative routing relies strictly on the quality of your semantic descriptions. If those descriptions overlap, you're going to get technical failures. Imagine we throw a prompt like, does this vendor have outstanding compliance violations? Well, the legal agent is set up to review for compliance, and the risk agent evaluates compliance. Because that exact same keyword lives in both descriptions, the generative AI just gets totally confused. The user intent plausibly matches both, and boom, you've got a routing failure. The architectural fix here is applying highly specific, completely non-intersecting operational scopes. Look at how legal is now explicitly restricted to phrases like contract terms, data processing requirements, and liability clauses. On the flip side, Risk Foundry is locked into terms like security posture, third-party risk ratings, and incident records. We completely ripped out that ambiguous word compliance to perfectly isolate the operational scope of each agent. What you're seeing here is the standard diagnostic loop. And trust me, you are going to use this repeatedly as a cloud engineer. You test the prompt, you observe the routing in that activity map, you refine your descriptions to strip out any ambiguity, and then you retest. It doesn't matter if you're maintaining multi-agent ecosystems in fintech, logistics, govtech, you name it. This exact 4-step cycle is how you maintain airtight routing integrity over time.
Moving on to section 3, explicit orchestrator instructions.
Now, what happens when tweaking descriptions just isn't cutting it? That's when we pull out explicit orchestrator instructions. Sometimes you'll have 2 connected agents handling incredibly similar topics, and that creates persistent ambiguity. By actually referencing your connected agents by name right inside the orchestrator's instructions, you forcefully provide directional guidance. This is a crucial technique, especially for autonomous agents or recurring query types where the AI just literally needs a hard and fast rule to follow. Let's look at BPO automation, for instance. By dropping in the exact instruction, delegate to the finance data agent, you're giving the orchestrator an explicit direction that runs alongside your description-based signals. It completely wipes out any routing ambiguity for those tricky finance queries. But a quick word of warning, use this selectively. It's a super powerful override, sure, but it is definitely not a band-aid for lazy descriptions. You still need to write accurate, distinct descriptions first.
Section 4, suspend versus disconnect.
As your underlying data models evolve, you've got to know how to manage your agents safely over time.
And there are some really severe architectural differences here that you need to be aware of. Disabling an agent simply suspends it. It becomes inactive, but here is the key. All of its configuration is fully preserved. Flipping it back on is just a single click. Disconnecting an agent, on the other hand, that permanently severs it from the orchestrator's configuration. The agent still exists on its own, out there, but if you ever want it back in your ecosystem, you're rebuilding that connection completely from scratch.
Think of disabling as your operational safety net. It's perfectly designed for staged rollouts and test environments, or for keeping things safe during planned maintenance. So let's say your finance team is updating the underlying semantic model of the Fabric data agent. You just disable the agent during the scheduled downtime. This stops users from getting ugly, failed spend data queries. Then, the second that maintenance window closes, you toggle it back on and routing resumes immediately, like nothing ever happened.
Finally, Section 5, Cross-Agent Transcript Monitoring.
Once you're actually running in production, debugging those complex multi-hop user interactions is absolutely critical. And here's a huge common pitfall for architects: forgetting that connected agents generate their own independent conversation transcripts. These are completely separate from the orchestrator's logs. You can't just look at the orchestrator and call it a day. You have to pull both the orchestrator transcript and the connected agent transcript to reconstruct the full end-to-end exchange. Seriously, plan for this correlation early. If you wait until production to figure out how to align these logs, trying to reconstruct those interactions retroactively is going to be an absolute nightmare.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to robust lifecycle management. If you aren't validating those boundaries, refining those semantic overlaps, securely utilizing explicit instructions, and correlating your transcripts, your ecosystem simply isn't fully operational yet. So, I want you to evaluate your current Azure architecture right now. Honestly ask yourself, are your connected agents truly ready for production, or are they really just ready for the test canvas?